We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2124, and Jill and I are talking about today common misconceptions about pricing land mailers. Boy, what a common question.
Mm-hmm.
I love talking about this and love trying to clear it up.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the reasons it's so prevalent is because it's complicated. So we're going to try to remove the complication here today and tell you how we do it, because we've done it wrong many, many times. Not we, me.
Do you know what one of my common ones is? What if I come in at this like over offer, knowing I'm going to talk them down? I hear that a lot. Or maybe I'll get more deals and I'll make less, but I'm like, hold on a moment. Let's really put some thought into this and understand why this is all happening the way it is.
I have a whole list of stuff to talk about. This is kind of up my alley.
Yes, it kind of is.
All week this week, Jill and I are talking about staying ahead of the land market in 2025. I think it's still January or February by the time this airs.
Probably February.
Oh, yeah, February.
Just saying. Like, this is so good. Mr. I live by my calendar doesn't get the calendar right. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the calendar is so important to you.
I have to look at it.
You do.
Jill doesn't have to look at it. She knows what's in there.
Study it. You have to believe it. You have to feel it.
That's right.
That's the only feelings you have is how bad is the calendar.
Let's test Jill for a second.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Stuff that's in the calendar.
Okay, here we go.
What reservations for dinner are in our calendar?
Tomorrow night.
That's it?
Keep going. That's it. That's all I got. Why?
How about reservations for or dates for us to have some type of vacation or get out of here?
Shucks, only one. I should have 4. Keep going. I'll tell you what's in there right now. Stupid dentist, all the things that you do when you're home for a little bit. Here's the truth. We are so fortunate. I'm so fortunate to have hooked my wagon to this man because we get to basically be wherever we want.
I don't think it works.
We are land investors and we get to do our deals from wherever we are. It doesn't matter if you know us and been watching us at all. You know where we're gone for, probably 8 of the last 12 months. We were in some form of recreational vehicle. We'll just say that. So when we are in town, or at least where our primary, what we loosely call our primary residence. I think our primary residence has wheels. But anyway, I got to get all the stuff done. So that's what's on my stupid calendar. It sucks, but I'm getting them done. How come you don't have as many appointments? Like, you have maybe because your teeth are great. I have teenager teeth.
I just have different type of appointments.
Oh, okay.
That's all. There's as much stuff. And I don't talk about my appointments or myself as much as you do. So
thanks a lot. Well, never mind then. I will stop sharing on my calendar where I am.
Just joking.
I just won't be here.
So do not stop sharing, because that's when we...
all right.
If we didn't have that calendar, my goodness, I don't know what would happen.
I know.
Socially and professionally.
That's
true. What my calendar is packed full of? Getting the mail out.
Estate planning.
Thursday, right now, estate planning.
It's good.
Thursday is just a packed day for us. So today, it's Thursday morning right now, and we're recording. Nobody's got a vacant calendar here.
No, that's true.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum and take a deep dive into a land-related topic by popular request.
Yep. All right. Lisette wrote, "Hi, everyone. I'm going through the training and I have a question about phone numbers. It seems that there are 2 options. 1, get a number that matches my mailing address and use that in the website, mailers, social media, etc. Or 2, get multiple local numbers for each target market. If I go with option 2, what number goes in the letter, website, social media, ? I have changed my tune on this. Because I'm in it right now too. We have a couple mailers going right now in 2 different states, multiple areas in 2 different states. And within those states, each state happened to have a phone number, an area code for that phone, for that state. And I used to think that was dumb. I used to think that it's not necessary. And I think back in the day, it wasn't. I think that was true.
That's right. That's really what I think. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Before COVID.
All that mattered is you didn't have a New York, Manhattan phone number or a toll-free number.
Or Los Angeles number.
Right. Or something that would, piss off the planet.
Yeah.
Phone number, like, Bay Area or something like that. So that did make sense. And so nowadays, and then so in the middle there, we just had a sweet, Arizona 480 phone number for a long, long, long time. And now, Lizette, I have to say I'm eating my words a little bit. Actually, I'm not. Things have changed and we are pivoting, as you should too. And I would recommend, if you don't want to do state phone numbers, at least get a regional phone number. Like we have had like an East Coast phone number, which I used for a sweet state on the East Coast that has a good reputation. Not like, New York. So, or, New England kind of thing. And that has worked for that region.
If you're going to mail Delaware, get a Delaware number. If you're going to mail New York, we have a member that's just smashing success in the state of New York right now.
Yeah.
She's got a New York number.
So there you go. And it's not expensive. You could do it through Vumber, or I can't think what the other one is that we use. We have a couple different ones. You're asking Discord because there's always different discussions. And there's always a new company that someone said, hey, this one's cheaper. I got 5 numbers for this price and blah, blah, blah. And then you could forward the numbers.
This question came right from Discord and the responses are exactly what you're saying.
That's what I thought. Everybody's got a little bit. And then as far as your website, I wouldn't list you could almost put regional phone numbers on there, but I don't even think you need to. You can keep your main one on your website and don't worry about it. That's what I would do. That's what we have done.
Listen, I want you to prep for multiple markets at once, but I think you're new. Please just focus on one market. I'll tell you, at this age and at this stage in our career, Jill and I have about 3, sometimes 4 markets going, and that's it. And we're dug in there. And we won't generally do a deal, if it's our deal, not a land funding deal, where we don't make at least 50, but usually $100 to $120,000 per deal. So we can get ingrained in that market, pass on the deals that are only going to make $20,000 or $30,000, and then go back to them later. So I would really encourage you and everybody listening, especially if you're new and newer, find yourself a good market. In the beginning, send out a bunch of mail to several places, but find yourself 1 or 2 markets where you're going to dig in and get to know everybody.
There you go.
Today's topic, common misconceptions about pricing land mailers. Boy, where do I start? Like I said earlier in the episode, this is a very popular question. How to price land mailers is not the topic here. The topic is misconceptions. And the biggest one that smacks me personally right in the face when I read this title is this: if I price my mailers higher, I will get a better response.
Ding, ding.
Absolutely false. The fact is this, and if you retain one thing from this entire episode or this entire podcast, because this might be the last time you're ever going to listen to it.
Got it.
What you're looking for is this. You're going to send out 5,000 to 10,000 mailers that are priced correctly, the way that we do it, at about 20%-ish. With testing for reason. You're going to send it out, and a couple of people, there are a lot of people who are going to call back. There's a couple of people, if you do it right, that are going to say, oh my gosh, your timing's perfect. I'm tired of this piece of land. I just got the tax bill, or we had a death in the family, or I need to move across the country. I'm tired of it. We're never going to use it, and I've never seen it, and I've inherited it. What's the next step? I accept your offer. So if that offer is higher as a percentage, then you're paying too much. You're going to end up paying too much. You're going to have to go back and you cause a lot of work for yourself. You want this to be efficient. And so please price your mailers as low as possible. Do it exactly how I instruct you, especially if you're new, in chapters 3 and 4 in Land Academy 3.0, and you're going to do great. I understand that. I think that there's a lot of things where what I just described, pricing it a little bit better will equal more sales. I think in traditional, it has nothing to do with real estate, but in traditional things like a convenience store or certainly a car dealership, if you price, because there's a lot of competition, if you price a 4Runner less than everybody else, you're going to sell a lot of them. So that's just not the case here. What smacks you in the face, John?
So I have two points on this. One is, when you get into this and you start doing these deals, you do really realize that it is the situation. It's not the dollar amount that's on that offer. It's they need the money right now. So that's what you're looking for. And if you don't go for it and price them well, like Jack does, you might remove, we always joke about this, but it's true. You remove some of the home run possibilities. Someone's going to get this offer and go, heck yeah, let's go, kind of thing, because I need the money today. And you're telling me we can do it this fast. That's the beauty of this. The other point I want to make too is when you price well, and you know you can't lose. That's the whole point here. You are pricing these offers at a number that, if within reason, they accept that, you can double your money, sell it way below retail, have all kinds of wiggle room in case anything's goofy shows up here, or you need to bring in an agent and their commission is X%. You could afford all of that and do just great. That's what you're trying to do. I also want to highlight too that little bit of wiggle room there. When we send out offers to buy something, the way Jack prices them, I know I have wiggle room. And I love that because sometimes that's all people need. Like, Jill, you sent this to me for $16,798.42. Can you make it 20? Because that's what's going to get me out of my stupid car debt right now. I owe right about 20
That's great advice, Joe.
So I'm like, you know what? I know the way he did it, I can probably make that 20 work because what we're buying it for, it's really worth probably 60. So I'm going to buy it for 20, sell it for 40 or 50 and do spectacular because it's really worth 60. So my buyer loved it, kind of thing. And that's why it sold quickly. That's what you're going for.
There's another misconception about pricing land mailers, and it stops people from sending mail, which is tragic. Overthinking it and analysis paralysis. Sure. There is no such thing as a perfectly priced mailer. Am I saying sloppily just price it at 20% of retail and send it out and see what happens? Absolutely not. But I'm saying especially we because of our personalities and the way Land Academy is structured, we attract a lot of STEM type personalities that have been or are in engineering professions and things like that. So it's the type of person that's got to took apart the toaster when they were 4 years old and just to see how it works. And so that's not what this is. You have to, if you just follow what I do in 3.0, which is price the mailer, get fine for retail, price per acre, test for reason, spread hours, testing for reason, not every line item, not every offer, but test for reason in blocks to see if you're close to where you want to do it, close to where you want to be from pricing the mailer, and then go through the motions of seeing if the mailer came back at that price and jump up and down like you were saying, like Joe was saying. So analysis paralysis, there's no such thing as I just need 5 more hours to price this better, and I know my response is going to get better. It's not. You're not going to get a better response if you spend a week more on your pricing your mailer.
I think that's what people think. I think that they think that, I need to make it perfect. And I'll tell you, the only way that you might think you're going to make it perfect is you do it line by line. And you know how long that's going to take you? That's the last thing you want to do is line by line, go through your mailer because your unit is 6,000. That's not effective, like you just said.
Here's another point. And I was guilty of this many, many years ago. If I price this mailer perfectly, I don't have to answer the phone. I don't like talking to people. I don't like talking to sellers. I can get out of that by sending a great mailer out or sending 14 times more mail, which is, I did this. I know I only need to send 5,000 units out to get a deal. I'm going to send out 50,000, just get the ones that are signed and sent back. I'll just do those deals and not going to answer the phone. You will be out of business very quickly if you do that. Yeah. I got away with that back in the day because I was the only person doing this in the entire country. Way since then, Jill and I have joined forces, and so she makes up for that. So no pricing scheme that you can come up with is going to circumvent you from very positively answering the phone and creating a real estate deal over the phone.
That's the key.
Jill's in the middle of 2 large mailers right now. So she's walking around the house with her earpiece in. This has been going on for more than, a decade and a half now. And she just gets better at it and better at it and better at it. And it makes my job really, really easy.
Thanks.
There's a huge margin of error that I can create in pricing these mailers, and she can make up for it. That doesn't mean if you're new, you don't want to do that. You don't want to put that load on your shoulders. You want to make this easy. What you're looking for is a circumstance, not a seller life circumstance. You're not there to negotiate prices with sellers for hours on end.
You know, I was going to say too, if you're going to make a mistake, I'd rather you make a mistake where you price too low, not too high. That's one of, like, we're still talking about that biggest one we talked about first. People's like, oh, overdo it and take money away. Let me tell you, it's a lot easier to add money than it is to take money away. You know, and you don't want to be that guy.
My final point is this, and I don't want to glom on it, but it's becoming more relevant in 2025, let's call it. There are cultures, real estate cultures out there more than I have ever seen in my entire career. We're in two markets right now, two slamming them with mail markets. Market number one is still reeling from the COVID jack up pricing that they got in 2020. And so they all have numbers in their heads that are 2020. And the truth is their land is worth probably half of what it or close to it, maybe 60%. And so Jill's got her work cut out for her. In those cases, you may want to think about adjusting your pricing so that the rage can tone down a little bit. Is it going to get you a more real estate? No. So there's the other culture is exactly the opposite. It is what I would call a real estate friendly, real estate aware market. Everybody is kind of a lot more chilled out about it. Everybody's used to having properties trade hands. In the first market that I mentioned, it's a lot of just inherited generational property, and sending them an offer at 20% sends them in a tailspin, and they'll let you know about it. It's the exact opposite in market number two. You need to know what's going on in these markets before you just slam it out. Do some research, get on your Zillow and all of that, and find out what's happening. You know, see, that's why we test for a retail price per acre before we send out the mailer. We're not just, shooting in the dark.
Thank you.
Join us tomorrow where we discuss why land sellers ghost after accepting an offer and what to do about it. Why land sellers ghost you after accepting an offer and what to do about it. This is Jill's topic. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.